Depression don't be messin', but it's one that's never true. It makes you feel alone and wish you wasn't you. You feel you should be quiet, but in your head it's a riot. Depression don't be messin', don't think it's only you. Depression don't be messin', and life looks like a zoo. Sometimes we want to end it and don't know what to do. Depression don't be messin', but I believe in you. Depression don't be messin', you're not broke, you're just not you. Depression don't be messin', I wish you'd catch my clue. In my eyes you're a hero, when the life you save is you. Depression don't be messin', just know the mess ain't you. This life can be real tricky, I know 'cause I'm like you. Depression don't be messin', but it wants to mess with you. Your life is still important, even when things seem a little blue. I wrote this poem to try to prove it. Suicide won't get you through it. Depression don't be messin', it's okay to feel it too.
Hey guys, I wanted to talk to you about depression. I wanted to do it on the sand dunes, but it's really windy. If I don't do it now, I probably won't do it, so welcome to my truck. A while back I did a video about helping your friends manage depression or helping your friends deal with depression. I don't remember what it is. It's on my YouTube. And I always felt bad. I always wish I could do a video that explained how to manage your own depression. Chances are, if you're watching my video on depression, you're not looking to help a friend. You're looking to help yourself. So I came up with some interesting things through helping other people through it. Trying to go through the scenarios of what I did to help myself. Now, I don't have this thing beat. I thought it 3 different times now that I figured it out for life, and I'm never going to have depression again. And there's no beating it completely. There's managing symptoms, and that's about the best. I'm not on medicine or nothing. I do have some pretty powerful techniques that as long as I'm doing them, I don't seem to have any problems. We've got to become an asset to the world and the people in the world. We've got to find ways that we can be useful and pay our rent, so to speak. If you can find a way that you're an asset to this world, then you feel like you belong here and that you deserve it and you don't want to leave no more. Not all of it is public speaking or talking to people. You know, some people are alone and they don't want to talk to nobody, and I get it. And there's other things that you can do. Volunteer at Palm Buddies, whatever. Tomorrow I'm doing a beach cleanup day. I saw it in the Muskegon website. It's like we do all meet up at 8 o'clock and you're a volunteer cleaning up for free. I guarantee you tomorrow I'm not going to have depression because I'll be cleaning up the beach and feeling like I'm a good human. I'm a good asset to this world. When I was in the deep dark, well, let me tell you a story first that reminded me of being an asset. I started a new job recently, and they have a handicapped guy that works for him. His name's Teddy. He's becoming a good friend of mine. I like the dude a lot. And one day, I went in and ran a bunch of parts off on his machine, and I let the count stay there so that he could have all the parts. I thought it would mean a lot to him. He had no clue that it was even there, so I think he just zeroed it out, and they just went to the whatever. But anyway, when I addressed him on it, I said, "Man, it's a good thing you're here. It's a good thing you work here. Look at all these parts you got." Just trying to build him up, and he liked the feeling of that so much that now when he sees me, he tries to find something that he's done and says, "Jesse, look what I did. It's a good thing I'm here, right? It's a good thing I'm here." And Teddy found a way to feel like he's an asset to the shop. And if somebody was to tell him that he don't belong there or he don't deserve to be there, he knows he paid his rent. That being said, sometimes it's really hard to be an asset. Sometimes it's impossible to be an asset. When I was in my deepest, darkest hour of depression, I was locking myself in my room, putting thumbtacks in all the windows, making sure nobody knew I was home. I didn't want visitors coming along and trying to tell me get out and get some air. I just wanted to stay to myself, and as I was in there more and more and more and more. And even though I knew part of my medicine is to be an asset, I couldn't get out of there. I couldn't go do nothing. I couldn't help nobody. I was stuck in my room. And one teaching, I must have saw it on YouTube. When I was dealing with that major depression, two things I was Googling was easiest way to die and managing depression. There's two things I was learning a lot about, and I learned both. Somewhere on YouTube, someone was teaching about being sorry, about writing your loved ones a letter. Anywhere in the history of time, you did something wrong sometime at some point, and write an apology letter, even though that's years ago and there's no hard feelings. Do it as an assignment, like a personal assignment to yourself, that if I had to be sorry and I had to write this letter, what would I say? So I ended up writing apology letters to my kids and my mom for childhood stuff. Like, I never knew my father, and I remember as a kid sometimes getting mad at my mom and saying that she must have been mean to my dad and chased him off, and that's why I don't have a dad. I could only imagine what that made mom feel like. You know, how strong was she to handle something like that coming from me? And I also know that at 37 years old, I'm almost 42 now. At 37 years old, my mom wasn't holding me accountable to that, and she didn't have a grudge. But there's not a whole lot that depression will let you do when it's got a grip. And one thing it will let you do, and it actually embraces, is sorry. You want to feel sorry? Depression's got your back. The trick is, the other thing that sorry does is it makes you feel like a good man, because good men embrace sorry. Good men are sorry. So when I got done with them letters, I felt good enough to get out of that room. And when I got out of the room, I knew I had to be an asset. Start volunteering, start finding ways you can be needed. Once a year or so, try to do something so good for somebody that it's going to make you cry. And on that day, you don't have depression. I didn't really know the significance of the letters until actually a couple years later, when I was explaining it to a buddy on how to deal with depression. And it's something that depression will allow you to do, but also good men do. I can't think of any other thing that I would think of to tell somebody. Like, I can say the sorry letters, but if I had to write more sorry letters, who would I write to now? Like, I got one trick to get me out of that dark spot, and I just hope to never get back in it, and keep my maintenance program going. I did go a few weeks there idle, not helping nobody, not seeking it out. I tried to volunteer at the mental hospital and teach on depression, but COVID, they're not even allowing visits. You got to visit by video, and I couldn't do nothing on video like that. I mean, I have trouble with this video camera right here. Knowing what I know now, and knowing how important my maintenance program is to be an asset, I was staying idle, and I wasn't doing nothing about it. And I could actually feel it day by day. I'm getting more and more depressed. Day by day, I'm saying I gotta go to bed. I'm tired. One thing that I said in my helping your friends with depression was, don't ask how they're doing. Hey, how you doing, man? It's an easy one to duck. I said to instead ask us, what are we up to? What are we up to? Because that tells a story. You know, if you're real busy and you've got this going on, then you probably ain't dealing with depression. And if you don't got a whole lot going on and waiting for the weather to break, then you're probably dealing with a few things. But I had friends actually calling me, using my tactics on me, and I was still ducking them. Just so tired. Oh, all I'm doing is working lately. I just gotta go to bed, man. And so maybe I gotta come up with some other tactics and, I don't know, not tell you guys. So that's what I do to manage some of my depression. And I said earlier that I also Googled the easiest way to die, and I think today that the easiest way to die is knowing that you've done everything you could do to be an asset to this world, and do everything that you can do to help people get through this life. When you lay in your deathbed, you'll be okay with it. I think that's the easiest way to die, is to just not waste your life away being idle or sitting around just thinking about you and slipping away to depression. I think the best way to die is say, man, I did this stuff. It's a good thing I was here. I love you guys.